Hi everyone, welcome back for another video. Today I'll show you a nice smoke rib design achieved by transferring, increasing and decreasing stitches. If you would like to download a chart of this pattern, please join me on my Patreon. There will be a link for it in the description. If you join me on my Patreon, you will have access to extra content and now written instructions and charts, and also you will support my work. I will begin this video by showing you a close-up of the technique. Begin with 6 stitches per section. Increase 2 stitches by transferring 1 stitch each side. Knit 1 row and make sure you put the needles you transferred back in action. Increase another 2 stitches and knit 1 more row. We will increase 6 stitches in total, 3 each side. For the next step, transfer the 2 stitches in the very middle to the left and to the right. If you want to count, that will be the 6th stitch. Now we have 5 stitches both sides with 2 needles out of action in the middle. Knit 1 row. Transfer another 2 stitches as before and knit another row. Continue doing so until there are 3 stitches left each side with 6 needles out of action in between. Now we will travel these stitches back to the initial formation, transferring all 3 of them at once and knitting 1 row in between every transfer. Now I will show you how to knit the larger sample you saw at the beginning of the video. For this example, cast on 58 stitches. So for the main bed, I've got the 3 stitches in action each side, then 7 stitches out of action, 6 stitches in action, 10 stitches out of action, 6 stitches in action, 10 stitches out of action, another 6 stitches in action, and then the last 7 stitches out of action. For the river bed, all the needles are in action. Begin by increasing 2 stitches each side. Make sure you put the needles back in action and knit 1 row in between every transfer. Repeat this 2 more times or until we have 12 stitches per section. Then transfer 2 stitches in the very middle until we have again 3 stitches each side with 6 needles out of action in between. The last step is to travel the 2 sets of 3 stitches all at once towards the middle to get back to the initial formation. Knit 1 row in between every transfer. We will now repeat the same until we get again to the 3 stitches as previously. So in previous repeat, we traveled these stitches like so. So we just have finished these 2 repeats of this section here. I think it's easier if you see the sample. Now we are moving on to this section and we are going to travel these stitches towards the middle. So it's basically these 4 ones. And we will leave these 2 at the edges alone for this part. Travel as before, all 3 stitches together and knit 1 row in between every transfer until we get them next to each other. Just as before, we will increase 3 stitches each side and knit 1 row in between, making sure to put the needles back in action after every transfer. Once we get again to this point and have 3 stitches with 6 needles out of action in between, transfer the 2 sets of 3 stitches from the side, 1 stitch to the left, to have 4 needles in between them and the next 3 stitches. Now we will travel the stitches to get back to the very initial formation, and then we can repeat from the beginning and we can start increasing again. Basically, we can start another repeat of the pattern. I really hope this was easy to follow, but I am sure once you will try it out, it will make sense and you can adjust it to your preferences. I really like this design and I'm so excited to share it with you. I hope you will give it a try and please tag me if you do so. I will link my Instagram in the description. Also, please join me on my Patreon. I have a few videos which are only available there, and the last 2 videos I made will have written instructions or charts and you will be able to download them. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Elena and I'll see you next time.